Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a story that left everyone shocked. A story of betrayal, humiliation, and a response that completely flipped the script. My name is Ethan, and a few months ago, I discovered something I never thought I'd see. Proof that the person I trusted most had been deceiving me in the cruelest way possible. My wife, Sarah, had been hiding a secret, one that would shatter our family, our friends' perception, and her carefully built image of loyalty. It started innocently enough. Sarah and I had been married for 6 years, and like many couples, we shared phones, messages, and social media accounts. She had her private chats, of course, but I never imagined I would stumble upon something that would turn my world upside down. One evening, I noticed her phone buzzing with a notification while she was in the kitchen. Something compelled me to glance, and there it was. A message she hadn't meant for me from someone named Alex, my close friend from college. My stomach sank when I read the words. Our intimacy was unforgettable. With your friend, it was magical. At first, I couldn't believe it. I read it again. And again. My heart pounded, my hands shook. This wasn't just flirting. This was a full confession of betrayal with someone I considered family. I felt sick, humiliated, and furious, but I knew I couldn't react impulsively. I confronted Sarah that night. She didn't deny it. She smirked and said, almost casually, "It's just a message, Ethan. Don't overreact." That smirk, that arrogance was the last straw. It wasn't just about the betrayal, it was about the disrespect. She thought she could hide her actions and control my reaction. But I had another idea, a response she would never see coming. The next day I crafted a plan. Instead of confronting her in private, instead of yelling, I decided to let the truth speak for itself. That evening, while our families were in our group chat, a chat that included parents, siblings, and close relatives, I sent a single message. I copied the incriminating text from her phone and wrote, "For everyone's awareness, Sarah's confession about intimacy with my friend. Thought you should know." The silence that followed was deafening. Notifications stopped. Typing bubbles appeared, then vanished. Messages flooded in seconds later. Each one a mix of shock, disbelief, and anger. My parents called me immediately, horrified. Her family was confused, trying to process what they had just read. And Sarah? She froze. Her eyes widened, her mouth opened, and for once she had no smirk, no words, no excuses. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. The truth had already spoken. Everyone she had relied on for support now saw her for who she truly was. And in that moment, I felt a sense of calm I hadn't felt since discovering the betrayal. I wasn't angry anymore, I was vindicated. Over the next few days, the fallout was intense. Family members called to express support, some friends blocked her, and the dynamics of both our families shifted drastically. Sarah tried to explain herself, to justify her actions, but the damage was irreversible. Her arrogance and secrecy had been exposed to the people she cared about most. I won't lie, it was painful. I lost trust, intimacy, and respect for someone I had once loved deeply. But the experience also taught me something invaluable. Betrayal can't hide forever. Lies, no matter how carefully constructed, have a way of surfacing, and when they do, the truth carries its own power. In the weeks that followed, I focused on rebuilding my life. I moved forward, surrounded myself with people I could trust, and learned to value honesty above all else. Sarah tried reaching out, but I had no interest in her apologies or explanations. The lesson had been learned, publicly and irrevocably. If there's one takeaway from this story, it's this: betrayal is painful, but exposure is liberating. When someone attempts to deceive you, sometimes the best response isn't private confrontation. It's controlled, public clarity. Let the truth speak, and let others witness it. The people who matter will see your integrity, and those who've wronged you will face the consequences of their actions. Looking back, dropping that single message in the family group wasn't revenge in the petty sense. It was justice. It was clarity. It was reclaiming control over a situation that had tried to strip me of my dignity. And in that moment I realized something powerful. Betrayal may break trust, but exposure restores power. So if you're facing deceit or infidelity, remember this story. Your response can define the moment, not the betrayal itself. Sometimes silence, strategy, and letting the truth shine are far more powerful than anger ever could be. Because in the end, the shock, the realization, and the exposure speak louder than any confrontation ever could. And for me, that single message changed everything.